This is my first go at recording something. And what do we have here? We have a KK2 box, which I thought was quite good. So it has a screen on it to protect it. It's got buttons there. All the bits and pieces, your ESCs down here, your other bits there. Got the sounder in it as well. Quite solid really. You're not going to break that. 12 volts in from the side. So how does that all go together? Right, the actual case comes as two parts. Whoops, take that out. So that's the lower part. Here's the upper part. What you've got in there is you've got a little window that holds the little window in the front there. You've got a little window frame, and the idea is when the board is in like that, what it does is the window frame pushes up against the front of the display to stop it from flying out. I don't know if you can, no, you can't see down inside that one, so that's not much good. Anyway, so what you do to put it together, bottom half, board goes in there. There are little retainers around the corners, don't know if you can see them. They're there just to stop the board moving around really. So the board just falls into place, wire down there, go to the front, got 4 nylon screws for the buttons. Oh, you forgot the sounder. Okay, the sounder, hang on, I'll show you that bit. Right, the sounder sits in the hole. So that's the wrong one. Right, I'll show you the sounder. The sounder goes in there. That sits in that little hole there. Oh, this one doesn't fit. That's really helpful. What's that about then? One of these works. I had a working one earlier. It doesn't want to go. Brilliant. What you might need to do is just run a knife around there. It's only just where the printing process leaves a few rough bits. So just clean that out a bit. And your sounder should fall in. There you go. So that goes in there. Sorry about that. Okay, so that's the lid with the sounder in it. So I'll put that down there. To get the sounder in, you've got a bit of an issue actually. The pins on that are high enough, or low enough I should say. Pins on that are low enough, so they'll fit in the case, but if you put the connector on, you then won't be able to get the lid of the case on, so it's too high. Whoops. So what you'll need to do is you'll actually have to cut the plug off and solder it onto there. Okay, so putting it together, quite simple. Got your board in there, battery wire down there in the slot. Put your sounder in already. That just sits on there. Clips into place. And there you have it, and that would be with the sounder in if I bother putting the damn thing in. Hence, here's one we prepared earlier. So the way you actually stop it falling apart is just put a bit of insulation tape around it. It's actually 20mm deep. So standard electrical insulation tape should work on that. And that holds it together. So there you go. Oh, sorry, bottom. Forgot to explain the bottom. On the bottom of these, there's something curious about the board on these. KK boards are actually 44mm between centres, not 45, which is what a standard sort of controller would be, like a, I don't know, a multi-Wii board or something like that. So what I've done on these is that the actual hole that goes to the bottom of these are 3.5mm, not 3. The reason for that is the holes are actually offset slightly. So if you were to bolt this, forgotten which one to put the lid on there, hang on. Right. If you were to bolt one of these onto a frame, say you had a commercial frame with 35mm centres, you'd still be able to put the bolt straight through. Obviously you would have to do something about these. You'd have to make these slightly larger to get over the pitch difference. But essentially the case itself won't be an issue. You'd be able to bolt that straight onto an airframe. But what I was thinking is that probably most people, by the time they've got a KK board, they're not really going to want to start chopping it around. So what I actually did with the bottom of these cases is I've actually put a 3mm nut insert in them. So the idea is, and I've lost the nut already, so that's really helpful, isn't it? I had a nut earlier. Where's that gone? Okay. Anyway, very well prepared, you can tell. Anyway, you put an M3 nut in there. This is like one of the older cases. I'll take that off. This is one of the older cases that doesn't have it in. See, so it's like that. So the idea would be you get a 3mm nut, push it into your hole, and then you can bolt it from the inside. So then what you'll end up with, unlike this one, you'll end up with a flat bottom, and then you can just stick the whole thing onto your airframe and then be done with it. I think that's about it actually. Anyway, I'm thinking of selling these, so I'm just wondering what people think. They will be available in black or white, or you can have half and half if you want. Can't see why you'd want to do that, but there you go. Okay then, you're probably wondering what it looks like when it's in the box. So this is what it is. So you've got menu button, down button, up button, and a back button. And it's all nicely in the case there, all locked away, sounders in there. All the leads are quite well protected because they don't actually go much beyond the top of the box. So if you do a face plant, it should be reasonably okay.